I just remembered this video by Gary Vaynerchuk on TikTok, right? He was saying that, well, kids don't have accountability these days. Okay, when he's talking about kids, I think it's referring to Gen Z, right? Those born from 2001 onwards. Kids these days don't have accountability. Why? Because they didn't get actually punished for all those wrong things that they've done. Their parents would just tell them, do not do that again. Yun lang. In my time, and also in Gary V's time, you do something wrong, you're either grounded or kicked out of the house, depending on the severity. Alright? Your parents will make you accountable for your actions. Kids these days don't have a sense of accountability. And what Gary Vee said in that TikTok video was very true. Right? He was right on point on that. There's nothing wrong with punishment. Okay? I don't know where the negative connotation came from, but I've received a lot of punishment when I was a kid. Okay? Trust me. Especially from my dad. Punishment promotes accountability. In case there are any members of Gen Z who are watching this, you have to poke that into your heads. Punishment promotes accountability. If you didn't get punished as a kid, for sure, when you're at least when you get older, you will be accountable for your actions. You will take responsibility, whether that be right or wrong. It's what's lacking in kids these days. And again, Gary Vee's point was true. It's very true. Punishment promotes accountability. Remember that. So don't be offended. If you're a kid, don't be offended when you get punished. It'll only make you accountable next time. I've just been informed a few hours ago that many politicians are now in favor of extending the Luzon lockdown. Well, here's my reaction. Seriously? Alright? Seriously? Okay? Now, hindi naman sa wala akong belief sa gobyerno ko. Now, there are so many quarantine facilities being built. We can confidently handle the COVID-19 pandemic without extending the quarantine, extending the Luzon lockdown. I'm very confident that our healthcare sector can handle it because there are more quarantine facilities being built. This enhanced community quarantine isn't needed anymore. Right? The best thing we could do is to ride out the remaining few days of the lockdown. Then after that, let the government what you call this? Let the government allow the government for its citizens to get their liberties back. Okay? Marami. Pati yung mga PWD senior nagsasuffer because of this lockdown. Okay? The best for politicians, okay, for politicians to handle this lockdown is to not extend it. We now have enough quarantine facilities to handle the situation. Right? The hospitals will now be decongested because of these quarantine facilities. Okay? We can handle it. Do not extend the lockdown. You want to know, you really want to know why? From an economic standpoint, it is bad news for a country like us. Di ba sana kung malakas ang economy natin like China, the US, and some European countries, they can handle a 6-month quarantine. Especially China and the US. They can handle a 6-month quarantine actually. But not the Philippines. Do not, here's a message to those politicians, do not tell yourselves that our economy can handle another 15 to 20 days of a lockdown. Do not tell yourselves that. Tumingin, lumabas kayo at tignan kung gaano kahaba mga pila. Social distancing is not being enforced, okay, on the barangay level. Alright? It's time for those politicians to, now is the time for those politicians to get out and see the pulse of the people. But if you ask me, the lockdown should no longer be extended. Let's just ride out the last remaining days of this lockdown, of the current lockdown, and trust the healthcare sector to handle the situation.
Right now, there are tens of thousands of people generating over $100,000 per year using.
Sorry, we now have enough quarantine facilities, okay, to handle the current situation. Kaya nga may quarantine facility. Limit the lockdown to those cities and towns that have those quarantine facilities. Yun lang. Kung meron mang ma-detect dito sa San Pedro, idala na dun. Tested positive for COVID-19, dala na dun. What are those quarantine facilities for? Okay? My message again to those politicians of my country. Do not extend the lockdown. You will send us to a recession. Kung hindi man tayo papatayin ng COVID-19, papatayin naman tayo sa, kakulangan ng kabuhayan. Wag na sa gutom. Gas-gas na yung linyang yun eh. You will be sending us to a recession if you extend that lockdown. If you extend this lockdown. Yun lang. President Rodrigo Duterte has just announced that the enhanced community quarantine here in Luzon, affectionately known as the Luzon lockdown, has been extended to April 30. Ouch. Let's talk about this over ice cream, okay? Now, President Duterte, in all his right wisdom, okay, I'm very sure. Excuse me. I'm very sure he considered the economic implications of this of such a move. Okay. Now, some economists are now interpreting this as a good move. Okay. GMA News TV. Okay, they're interviewing one economist right now. But ang hirap lang nito, yung mga cash assistance programs hindi pa firmly in place. Okay? The nationwide cash assistance programs are not firmly in place. Okay? If you are at least financially literate, you probably don't need those cash assistance. Ako, right? Well, I'm going to start considering my investment options right now, okay, in order to protect myself against this extension of the quarantine. Yep. Robert Kiyosaki was right all along. Financial literacy is your greatest weapon against any crisis. Okay? Especially now, COVID-19. You have to check whatever check whatever investment opportunities you have out there while you can actually do that while at home. Okay? There's the internet. Make the internet your ally. Okay? Make the internet your ally and look for those investment opportunities right now. That is your best hedge against crises like this. Now ngayon, inextend ang lockdown. They don't make ice cream like they used to. So, your best hedge now against crises like this is financial literacy. At least, financial education, to be exact. Okay? Up your money sense. Feed your mind with investment options. So as when another crisis like this comes, you'll be financially ready. I'm just about second round of practicing my Rush Duel deck, okay? Bagong way to duel sa Yu-Gi-Oh card game. And this is what it looks like. And see there? Main deck is empty. Main deck is empty. Now, what am I driving at here? Kasi, well, evolution has been the universe's way of improving itself, right? And this time is no different. Okay. Card games also evolve, diba? They also change to the times. As people, we should also change with the times. Now, those who have adjusted pretty well to current situations live to either tell the tale or to prosper, or both. So, changing with the times isn't that bad. In fact, it's a necessity. Okay? Those who are, well, not willing to change, sila ang unang naiiwan. Sila ang unang nagiging biktima ng pagbabago ng panahon. They are the first victims of the changing times. They either get left behind or, well, something worse. Now, I don't wanna expand on that, okay? Baka maging negative yung dating ng entry na to. So it ain't wrong to adapt. Okay? It's part of our nature as humans. Okay? Humans have been existing since, well, after the dinosaurs. Alright? We've been existing for hundreds of thousands of years now. Or, yeah. Hundreds of thousands of years now. And we don't intend to stick with old habits, stick with old procedures, stick with old policies, stick with, well, anything that's old. Okay? Because, well, or we would still be living in the Stone Age. Okay? Mga hunter-gatherers pa rin tayo. Kakain lang tayo kung meron tayong napatay na hayop. It ain't wrong to adapt. Okay? It's a necessity, actually, to adapt. I'm here to give my take on the current what's called this ordinance here in San Pedro City regarding sa coding, okay? Coding for human traffic, all right? If you're living in Barangay Pasitawan like me, pwede ka na lumabas for groceries Monday and Thursday. Pero isa lang ang oras nilang lahat. 5 a.m. to 12 noon. Okay, Sunday, di pa rin lumabas lahat. Now, I don't know. Okay? It seems delusional. Okay? This is a very delusional city ordinance. You wanna know why? May araw ka na para lumabas, tapos meron ka pang time window. Right? To think that, well, probably the author of this ordinance thinks that SARS-CoV-2 is airborne. Okay? The World Health Organization has yet to prove that the SARS-CoV-2 virus can be airborne. Okay? Dalawang araw ka na lang lalabas for essentials, may oras ka pa. It's taking away the basic civil liberty of It's taking away the basic civil liberty of going to get for your essentials at any time. Dapat at any time you wish. Kasi may araw naman eh. So why restrict them to these hours? 5 a.m. to 12 noon? Alam mo naman pupuntahan mo pag 5 a.m. That in itself lacks common sense. Yung time provision na yun. That in itself lacks common sense. Whoever authored this ordinance is delusional. Okay? That's why, in my opinion, this ordinance is probably one of the most delusional ordinances ever authored at least in this city's history. Okay? Napaka-delusional talaga eh. Siguro, ina-assume nila na airborne ang SARS-CoV-2. It's not even confirmed by the WHO yet. So why author such an ordinance? Yung 2 araw lang okay ni. Gets na ng mga tao. Tapos lalagyan mo pa ng oras. 5 a.m. to 12 noon. Impractical. You might as well, kung ayaw mong tanggalin yung oras, palawigin mo ang oras. Like, let's say, 7 to 3. Okay, 7 to 3. That's why, okay, if you would go to Robinson's Pasita, napakahaba ang linya halos araw-araw. Especially Monday and Thursday. Kasi doon lang lumalabas sa mga taga-Pasitawan eh. Kahit ano pa ang gawin mo. Okay? This ordinance does not promote social distancing. That is my interpretation of it. That is how I see it. This ordinance does not promote social distancing. It is anti-social distancing. I just had a cold shower a few minutes ago kasi ang init na eh. Now, I'm recalling what GMA News reported last night about yung mga nadagdagan sa mga deaths, which included some doctors. Okay. The main contributing factor to their deaths was that their patients did not intentionally did not fully disclose their history, travel history, or where they've been before the COVID-19 symptoms came out. Okay? And before they realized it, na COVID-19 na rin pala yung mga doktor na yun. Okay? You know what? I usually, I don't go on blame mode that often anymore. But to those who are COVID-19 positive that did not fully disclose their history to those doctors, I will make an exception. If there's anybody, okay, if there's anybody who should be blamed for the spread of this disease, it's you. It's fucking you. Kung naging honest lang kayo sa pagdi-disclose ng history nyo, ng travel history, whatever, hindi kakalat ang sakit na to. Okay? Walang mamamatay na doktor. Okay? I blame you for their deaths. Very sensitive ako ngayon dahil kapwa ko medical professional ang pinag-uusapan ko rito eh. It pisses me off for kahit nung intern ako. It pisses me off absolutely kapag hindi honest sa akin ng pasyente ko. Na kahit nung physical therapy intern ako. But what can I do at the time? I'm just an intern. So, isusumbong ko sa supervisor ko yon. Or, sa doktor na nag-handle sa kanya. Mas maganda. Kung sa mismong doktor niya ako magsusumbong. May sakit na nga kayo eh. Magsisinungaling pa kayo? Magtatago pa kayo ng sikreto sa mga doktor nyo? That's why some doctors are dead because of COVID-19. Okay? You brought that disease onto them. Kaya I repeat, if there's anyone who should be blamed for the spread of this disease here in this country, walang iba kundi kayo. Ang mga COVID-19 positive na hindi nag-full disclosure ng kanilang history sa mga doktor nila. That's why those doctors are dead now. Even after this pandemic is over, I am putting their deaths on your heads. Walang iman dapat sisihin sa mga kamatayan nila kundi kayo. Mark my words. Sorry, not sorry. I'm testing out this EduPro, yung bagong software for playing the Yu-Gi-Oh card game since there are no tournaments right now. So it's a good practice mode. Okay, and I'm also listening to one of Dr. Berg's videos on one of his live Q&As.
I have to literally catch.
Now, in times like these, we need to really feed our minds about subjects that we need to know, subjects that we're passionate about, or anything that we're passionate about, or
Yes, you just want
anything we need to know.
take the gallbladder formula
Right.
with the
Like this, Dr. Berg is involved in wellness, and I'm practicing one of my Yu-Gi-Oh decks of EduPro because it's one of my passions, the Yu-Gi-Oh card game. That's just life at home.
While taking a diuretic.
Even before the COVID-19 pandemic,
Safe, but you have to realize that
this is how my life is. Alright? This is how my life is.
And
And
so you want to take electrolytes and potassium, and you may find that
I don't feel ashamed. I don't know why people would say that I should find a job, I should go out somewhere.
From bacterial pneumonia without any.
There's no reason to go out somewhere, especially now.
It's probably a good thing
it's an enhanced community quarantine, so everybody is being compelled to stay at home.
One Hershey's Kiss candy a day.
So the best thing you should do is do
The
this,
answer is yes.
right? So
Yes,
when you're at
it
home,
will.
follow
And
your
I just
passions
found out from
and
one of my guys that I can control the inflow of.
basically feed your mind. Feed your mind while at home.
Let's see here.
I'm currently watching this. Okay, it's one of J Dharma Wang's videos. She's talking about how to start getting productive at home, and I might follow that. Good tip. These are good tips. Now, well, my take on that is productivity begins here. It's right here. It's all about putting your mind into it and getting your brain started for the day. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing these tips. Maybe, well, not now because the weather's quite hot right now, and I don't have air conditioning in this room. All right. Probably, yeah, probably tomorrow morning. Okay. Promise. So yeah, if you want to be productive at home, you gotta begin here. Okay. It all starts here. I'm just removed from lunch and now I'm taking again. We're gonna talk this over ice cream. Now, I'm also removed from Danielle Allen's TED interview. When the TED Talks YouTube channel interviewed Danielle Allen on COVID-19. All right, for the full interview, link in the description. All right, link in the description. Now, it was an eye-opening interview for me, at least, about how governments should safeguard its citizens from COVID-19. Like, well, we agree. She and I agree on one thing: social distancing should be strictly enforced. Okay. To her, that's a key strategy in in winning the war against this disease, against this virus. All right, because, well, 3 feet in front of you, 3 feet behind you. Okay. A virus can only live outside the body for 3 hours, right? And the risk of transmission is probably down to a very small percentage when social distancing is strictly enforced. Okay, I agree with her on that. Now, she also said that someone she knows isn't a big fan of contact tracing. Well, I see a flaw. Okay, I myself see a flaw in contact tracing. Okay, especially when you interview the person who has COVID-19. Okay, you can imagine yourself being afflicted with this virus, and you know you got a 50%. You know in your mind that you got a 50% chance of living. You have a 50% chance of dying. So that makes you, well, borderline delirious. You may say the wrong things when being asked questions. Well, part of contact tracing is, of course, may interview process dyan, hindi pwedeng wala. So, if you're the patient, you may give the wrong information. Okay? That's the discrepancy there. Okay? Well, most experts are big fans of contact tracing. Okay? But they agree on one thing. Social distancing is a key strategy. Therefore, it should be strictly enforced. Right? Now, again, for more of Danielle Allen's the Danielle Allen video by Ted, link in the description. So you watch that first, then judge if I am right or wrong regarding social distancing. This morning we made another run at Essentials, but instead of going to the supermarkets and well, go toe to toe with those long lines, me and my mother decided to just shop at the nearest mini marts and convenience stores, which is sometimes more practical because convenience stores, when it comes to seniors, they give the full discount, right? They're not selective when it comes to giving seniors their discounts and PWDs, like my sister. Okay, they're not selective in that. They're not selective on that. Okay, kasi mga malalaking grocery, maraming arte. Right? Pagdating sa mga senior and PWD discounts. Now, here's a question for you guys. If you live in the Philippines, especially in San Pedro, which is the most crisis-friendly supermarket right now? Robinsons, Puregold, or Shopwise? Well, sa experience ko, what I meant by crisis-friendly is you'll still prioritize seniors, PWDs, pregnant women, and people with children. Tao na may bitbit na bata. You have to prioritize those four. Okay? You don't let them stand in line. Basta magpakita na sila ng, right now, quarantine pass, ID. They can go in right away. And start shopping. Shopwise has changed its policy, and they're no longer allowing seniors and PWDs to be prioritized. They don't prioritize them anymore. Pinasasama na nila sa pila. Robinsons, on the other hand, hasn't been prioritizing seniors and PWDs since the crisis started. Okay? Since day one of the crisis, di na nila inaalo, pinapapila. Minsan pinapapila nila or, well, tell you frankly, wala silang pakialam sa haba ng pila. Wala rin silang pakialam sa social distancing. Basta kikita sila. Basta mayroong bumibili sa kanila. I'm talking about Robinsons Pasita. Ha? Okay? Robinsons Pasita. Now, in the case of Puregold, yan ang kagandahan sa kanila. They still prioritize seniors, PWDs, pregnant women, and people with children. Pero ngayon talaga, hindi talaga paninobas sa mga bata. Ang seniors, excuse me, ang seniors, discretion na nila. Now, nga sa case ko, siyempre hindi ko pwedeng iwanan ang sister kong special child sa mother ko parati. So, sinasama ko siya. So, they prioritize her. Pinapapasok na kami. And, kagandahan doon, the guards will often ask sa pila kung merong senior o PWD. Pinapauna na nila. Okay? They have the will to do this. Kumbaga, nagkukusa na ang management ng supermarket na yon. Kaya prioritize ang para, syempre, umiksi ang pila. That way, talagang iiksi ang pila. The more, the bigger the chance that social distancing will be enforced. Kasi kung mahaba ang pila, well, the inevitable happens. Social distancing is thrown out the window. It's thrown out the window. So, with these in mind, okay, the most crisis-friendly supermarket right now in San Pedro is Puregold. Kaya, saludo ko sa inyo, Puregold. Kaya, crisis or no crisis, you know how to add value to your customers. Shopwise, fair weather lang yan. Robinsons, profit is more valuable to them than value. Kaya again, for me, the most crisis-friendly supermarket right now is Puregold. Right? Basta, you know what to do. Kunyari, senior kayo, PWD. Okay, you will be prioritized by them. Yung mga gwardiya na ang nagkukusang magtanong. Kung may senior sa pila, may senior, PWD, pinapaunan nila. Very good. Thumbs up to you, Puregold. I got curious few hours ago. I googled the search term Grant Cardone TED Talk. You know what happened? Zero results. Right? The number one result was from a guy who did a TEDx talk, then visited Grant Cardone's office. Right? That was the search result. But the actual search result, Grant Cardone TED Talk, zero. Oh my God. Now, here's my take on the matter. You want to know why Grant Cardone will never give a TED Talk? Because, well, for all intents and purposes, Ted will probably never be invited to give a talk at any TED event. All right? Ted will never even bother sending him an invitation. Okay? Well, if you've seen any TED Talk or you've been to one, hey, if you've been to one, comment below. All right? I really love to know. Share me your story. Right? Share me your story. I've seen a lot of TED Talks on YouTube, and wow, the audience is smart as hell, and the speakers, they're all thought leaders, certified thought leaders in their respective industries, and the speeches they give, no bullshit, just straight facts and sometimes profound motivation. Right? You will get your money's worth when you attend a TED event. Right? Kasi yung mga speakers doon talagang they won't BS you with anything. Just their knowledge on their chosen niche, or they will motivate you with no BS also. Okay? Grant Cardone gives speeches with, I think half of his speeches are cliches. Okay, I've seen how he gives a speech on YouTube, of course, especially when he's invited to the National Achievers Congress abroad, not here, right? No wonder he never get invited to TED. Because, well, his speeches are so self-serving. Okay, he would tell everybody to rent a house, to rent a home, because, especially if he's in Florida or Texas or wherever his projects may be, because it will serve him. Okay, whereas he actually owns a home. He owns a home despite telling everybody to rent one. All right. Now, comparing his principles to Robert Kiyosaki's, okay, it's nothing compared to Robert Kiyosaki's. Now, Mr. Kiyosaki's principles are like this. It's a your home is a liability unless you have a part of it rented out, or you have the entire home rented out. That's it. That's the rich dad principle. That's basically the rich dad principle. Okay. He doesn't say anything that you should rent your home or to own one. All Robert Kiyosaki is saying, your home is a liability unless you have it rented out. Yun ang sinasabi niya. Grant Cardone always says always tells the whole world to rent a home.
Thank you so much.
That in itself is a self-serving cliche. Alright? Then he would finish off with I have a 10x life. I have a 10x business. Fuck! 10x is a universal given. You don't need to tell people what the number 10 signifies, okay? As I've said in a previous entry. If he were to be invited to a TED event and he gives the same kind of talk, he would probably be booed off the stage. Because, well, half of his speech is all cliches. Okay? The TED audience is not that dumb. Okay? They came there to be enlightened in the niche they chose to listen to, or to be inspired. Okay, to be inspired by the leaders of their niche, not to be served cliches or to be sold something. Right? That's why Grant Cardone, Uncle G, will never give a talk at a TED event.